Hello to you. Welcome to another super quick lesson on wealth management bite size. My name is Sunena Bisht and I am a financial advisor with the leading financial institutes of the country. Today we are going to talk about health insurance and how to buy a correct health insurance. So what we're going to do today is take you through few of the ideas and concepts you should be careful about while going ahead and investing in a financial tool on your health insurance. Okay, so one of the most common things that we see when we meet our clients, which would be between the age of 25 and 30, if they've not bought a health insurance, the most common response is they have not found a correct health insurance, or a health insurance which covers all their need is something that they're still researching. My first advice to you would be buy your cover as soon as possible. Not tomorrow, not next month, but buy your cover right now. Why is it important? Because your health insurance is a preventive financial tool and not a reactive financial tool. You should not already be in a hospital when you buy your health cover. You need to make sure that you are aware that each financial tool or insurance comes with a waiting period. If you are still in your waiting period, your health cover will not help you at all. So look for a cover which covers at least 70% of your needs and requirements and buy it today. Also, your premium keeps increasing as your age increases, so you're not getting younger by the day. The sooner you buy your cover, the lesser premium you need to pay for it. You are covered for your life, you are secured, and you can then take time at a later stage to look for a cover which suits your need much better, and then you can still transfer to that. But at least for the time being, you will have a cover. The next important thing to think about is, do you want to buy individual cover for yourself and your family, or do you want to buy a family floater? Now, for most important thing, a family floater would mean that if you have a coverage, say about 5 lakhs, any family member getting hospitalized can use that 5 lakh. Or if it is an individual one, then the other family members do not have that security of 5 lakh. Now, what are the health conditions of everyone you are planning to include in the insurance? If you have dependents who are over the age of 50, it is recommended that you buy an individual cover for them, because there are higher chances of them getting hospitalized more frequently compared to the younger members in the family. Or you can also look at what their health condition is. If somebody is more likely to get in the hospital because of accidents or illness, make sure that they have an individual cover instead of a family float. So accordingly, make a logical assessment of everyone that you plan to cover in your health insurance. Are you healthy? Have you looked at your lifestyle? Are you or your family members, are there any smokers or any regular drinkers among the family members? Or do you lead a healthy lifestyle, or do you lead a lifestyle which is more prone to getting health conditions? Do you live in a city or an environment where there are higher chances of you contracting diseases? For example, if you live in a polluted city, higher chances of you containing or getting in contact with something lung related, or because of pollution there could be allergies. So these are the things that you need to keep into consideration when you're buying your insurance as well. Lead a healthier lifestyle which will help you take care of your family longer, you live longer, and your health cover also takes a longer period to get claimed. Now, when I say this, a lot of people say, then if I'm going to take care of my health, why do I need a health cover? Know that all of us are going to go old at some point of time, and there will be health conditions that will lead to hospitalization even if we have led a very healthy life. Your health cover is to take care of such situations, and not because you're getting hospitalized today or tomorrow. So these are the things you need to keep in consideration. Also, the amount that you set for your claim should also have this as a consideration along with the inflation. Take inflation as a 6% of hospital cost as of today, and see that your health cover is big enough to take care of any hospital cost that you might foresee 10 to 15 years down the line minimum. Your insurance should be a long term goal. We've covered this. Your insurance is not for you today or tomorrow. Your insurance is something which is 5 years or 10 years down the line. So don't look at buying an insurance for a shorter period of time. Look at buying insurance for a longer period of time. This will also help you keep your premium to the lower amount, because more years that you have where have you not claimed any amount from the insurance, it will give you a non-claim bonus as well, thereby increasing your health cover also. And obviously keep your insurance inflation in mind. So a normal hospitalization right now for a period of say a week would take somewhere about 3 to 5 lakhs. And if you're looking at hospitalization somewhere 10 years to 15 years down the line, that will cost somewhere around 13 lakhs. So make sure that your health insurance keeps these factors in mind. Understanding hospital room capping. This is the most misunderstood concept in your health insurance. We all know that most of the insurance policies will have a hospital room capping, and we feel that that is only for the hospital room. You are wrong there. When a policy states 1% of the hospital room capping or 10% of a hospital room capping beyond a certain amount, say for example, you are in a room which is for 8,000, but your policy will only cover a room for 4,000, that is 50% of the actual cost. You think that you will only then pay the 50% extra for your room rent, which is not true. Your bill will then be 50% covered of the total bill that comes. It is 50% of your hospital room, 50% of your medical care, 50% of all the other services. Your room rent plays a very important role in how the rest of your claim will be calculated. So make sure that you understand this very clearly and carefully before you sign on the dotted lines. Now, what kind of a room rent policy would then be much more comfortable, or a policy which is more ideal? Look for a private room eligibility. If you're going for a private room, the cost could change, be up and down, and then you don't need to worry about it as long as it is in the category of a private room and you have the eligibility for it. You will see a no room rent capping as a second ideal situation. That is because when few people mistreat the policy and make larger claims because of it, there are higher chances of the overall policy tool to get recalculated and therefore increasing your premium. So you don't really want that. Because of somebody else's mistake, your premium should not get increased. That's the reason why it is at the second level. Or if you're not able to find a policy of that sort, the best you should try for is getting the highest room rent capping. That is one thing that you should be very careful about before you sign on a policy. Understanding few terms which will be written in your policy. Make sure that you ask questions and get your answers for these. Make sure you know what it means when the policy states sublimit or co-payment, or what are the deductibles or the non-payment of surcharges. What is there in the bill which will not be included in your claim amount. Also see if your medicines are included or not included. It's very important to understand all this at the start of buying a policy instead of getting a shock much later when it comes to paying a bill. It's good to do a groundwork before you buy a policy. That means you need to understand the hospital networks that are around your location and what are the companies which have insurance tie-up with those hospitals. This will later on help, because you will not get a sudden surprise to see that the policy you currently hold is not really covered in that hospital. That leads to a very difficult claim procedure. So do that groundwork already. Make an honest assessment of the medical assistance that might be required by your family. If you have more senior citizen, make sure that you're keeping the senior citizen facilities that are around you, hospitals which are known for their senior citizen care, hospitals which have consultants with senior citizen medicines or senior citizen illness. These are the things that you need to consider. And also the hospitals that you're looking at, what kind of a cashless facilities do they provide, or do they provide a cashless facility or not? So how good is their TPS system is also something you should be looking at before you buy your policy. Read every single word that's there in the policy, not just the highlight. not just what the agent has told you, not just what has been given to you in the brochure, because obviously they will like to only emphasize the big selling points of their policy, but your questions will be on the underlined terms and conditions which you might not even realize were there. Sometimes you will just assume that the policy will have that as a coverage, but that is never the best strategy. Make sure you make a list of your questions when you read the policy, and then you have your answers highlighted within the policy. Go through each and every single word, each and every single clause of the policies to understand what you are eligible for, what your coverage will give you, and how it will be spread across the entire bill. It is not at the total amount of the bill, but various sections of the bill. So it is important for you to understand each and every single component that will be there in your hospital bill. If required, take help of brokers who deal in the insurance policy, because they are most likely to give you the best advice around which policy is better or what other minor nuisances a health insurance policy usually has. This helps in creating a game plan to buy the best policy. It sounds a lot, but it not really is that much. It takes efforts of few very well spent weekends for you to figure out which will be the best policy that you can take for your family, and that's all the time you should spend on it. Do not overthink it, and do not at any point of time assume that you are making the right choice. Make your right choice basis logical questions and logical assessments. That's the best tool that you have. Now, another thing that you need to be aware of are the top-up plans that policies have. Top-ups are your new best friends. You can take a baseline policy and then you can take top-up on top of that, which reduces your overall premium amount. It enhances the cover that you have. Top-ups could be for individual or a family floater, so that's an advantage that you might not have previously had. And obviously it has a tax benefit under Section 80D. So these are the few things that you need to be aware of when buying a top-up. Understanding top-up and super top-up, there are few policies which have the tool of top-up and few which are on the super top-up. Lower premiums and different insurance. So that means you can have your base policy from one company and then your top-up or your super top-up from a different company altogether. You can have multiple top-ups. That means you can have your individual cover or you can have your family floater cover as well. So that's a plus sign with a base policy, and in total it will lead to less premium. So if you have one regular policy, say for about 20 lakhs, you will end up paying a premium of about 38,000 as of today's amount. But instead, if you have a base policy of 5 lakhs and a top-up policy of 20 lakhs, then you will end up paying a lesser amount of, say, about 27,000. So that's a huge difference in itself, and therefore you should never disregard a top-up or a super top-up policy. All right, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening to me. We post videos on mutual funds, insurance, income tax, and other wealth related topics. So be sure to subscribe to us and share these videos for those that you care for. You can also look at other videos that we have on health insurance, which is health insurance exclusion, understanding them better, or understanding the top-up and super top-up policy as to how it works, and things to do after you've bought the health insurance. All right, take care.